Hello everybody. Today we'll be looking at the discrete Fourier transform and applying it on ECG and PPG waveforms using MATLAB. So let's get started. In the first part of the experiment, we'll be given an ECG and PPG signal and we'll be finding the discrete Fourier transform of these signals and observing their frequency spectrum. And then we'll extract the dominant frequencies from the spectrum. In the second part of this experiment, we will be given an ECG and PPG waveform which have a noise at 50 Hz frequencies. And what we'll do is we'll find the discrete Fourier transform and we'll set the coefficients which are corresponding to this 50 Hz noise to 0, and then we'll do the inverse discrete Fourier transform and get a clean signal. So the discrete Fourier transform is defined by this equation. Capital N represents the number of frequency components for that are in the TFT, and we call it the endpoint TFT. In the DTFT, we have a continuous spectrum from minus pi to pi, which is also periodic, and in the DFT, we just sample the minus pi to pi using n frequencies. It is important to note here that if discrete time signal x of n has a length of L, which means that it has L non-zero values, then the number of frequencies that are used to divide the minus pi to pi interval must be either greater than L or equal to n L. This is because if it is less than L, then we'll get a time elapsing effect in the time domain. And ideally we choose the value of n to be equal to L because this doesn't lose any information and doesn't require much storage. It requires the least amount of storage. So in the first part, we've got an ECG signal, and we use the discrete Fourier transform equation to calculate its frequency spectrum. And as you can see from the figure, the waveform was sampled at 200 Hz frequencies, and because the DFT is a periodic, we will see that this spectrum repeats after every 200 Hz. And by looking at the spectra, we can see that the ECG waveform has frequencies up to around 30 or 35 Hz. To extract the dominant frequencies from this ECG signal, we set the threshold to be 1% of the maximum value, and we set all the coefficients which do not satisfy this criteria, which means that their frequencies their amplitudes are less than 1% of the maximum value. We set those to 0 and we get this dominant frequency spectra. The DFT of a signal is a discrete plot, so that's why I have plotted it using the stem function. For the PPG signal, we have dominant frequencies up to much lower, like it has dominant frequencies up to only 10 Hz, and that's why comparing the ECG and PPG waveforms, you can see that PPG waveforms spectra doesn't extend much farther than the ECG. And as I mentioned, the sampling frequency is 200 Hz, that's why the frequency plot repeats after every 200 Hz, and the value of the n is equal to 1000, which is equal to the value of the number length of the discrete time signal, which is capital L. For the second part of this experiment, we will be filtering out unwanted frequencies using the discrete Fourier transform. So we'll be given an waveform, an ECG and PPG waveform, which have noises corresponding to the 50 Hz signal. We'll call this as power line noise, and what our job is to remove this 50 Hz noise from each of the signals. And to do this, we'll first calculate the discrete Fourier transform of the signal, and then we'll remove the frequencies which correspond to 50 hertz, and that means we'll set the coefficients equal to 0, and then we'll take the inverse discrete Fourier transform to get the filtered signal which doesn't have the noise frequencies that we don't want. Before moving on, I'll specify that the inverse discrete Fourier transform is given by this equation, and capital N here is the number of frequency components. So using this in this summation, we're summing over the number of frequencies that we have and converting it into the time domain again. And this signal, the x of n, will also be periodic, unlike the original signal. But since we have avoided time aliasing by setting n greater than equal to L, we can take one period of this x of n that we get by the IDFT, and that will be equal to that original signal that we originally used. But before doing that, we'll set the coefficient which correspond to the unwanted frequencies to 0, so we'll get a better signal. And the minimum value of n is L, but if we choose a value of n which is greater than L, then in the recovered waveform we'll get n minus L zeros padded along with the original signal, and then it will continue, it will become periodic. It will take one period of that and get the original signal back. So coming to the plots here, this is the original ECG signal, and as you can see we have high frequency components in this signal. We compute the discrete Fourier transform and get the second plot, and as you can see right around 50 Hertz we get a spike in the frequency spectrum, and this corresponds to the frequency spectrum of the noise. And then what we do, we remove these frequency components. So in this case, instead of just removing 50 Hertz, we remove all the frequencies from 48 to 52 Hertz, and we get this new spectra after removing these frequencies. And then we compute the inverse discrete Fourier transform, and we get the reconstructed ECG signal. And comparing the original and the reconstructed ECG signal, it is obvious that the reconstructed ECG signal is much cleaner than the original ECG signal. And this is because the 50 Hertz the noise signal, the high frequency components which was varying, which can be seen here, have been removed here. And I've done the same for the PPG signals. In PPG signal we had a high frequency noise component, and that can be seen in the spectrum here. And after removing all the frequencies that we don't want from 42 Hertz to 52 Hertz, we get this, and we just reconstruct it, and as you can see it is a much cleaner reconstructed PPG signal with no high varying frequencies. Again here for the inverse discrete Fourier transform, I have taken n is equal to L is equal to 1000, and then you can find the code in the appendix section of how I have made the function of a DFT and IDFT, and call these using the main programs for both of the parts. And that is how you can remove unwanted frequencies for using the discrete Fourier transform and using MATLAB. And I'll thank you all for watching. Thank you.